done, that the people of Nigeria will have to get together and negotiate a new constitution for themselves. Second, or the third point, is leadership failure in Igbo land. It raises fundamental questions if you read Chude's book on the collapse of failure of leadership in Igbo land and the search for the new one, whatever. It's in that light it agitates your mind when we talk about Igbo presidency. What does that actually mean? Is it to have somebody wearing a red cap in the villa, or what? If all that we say, even within the states, a governor is first his village, his local government, then his senatorial zone, so that he can be Ochelo Ozwa of his own local government or his village, and so on and so forth, then let the others care. Is that the kind of leadership we are talking about Nigeria, or in the new Biafra, as it were? And we have seen it, like I said, about people occupying offices and so on and so forth, and still nothing. So the question is, the same contradictions in Nigeria are also there within Igbo land. We cry of marginalization at the larger Nigeria, but there is also cries of marginalization within. There is the identity question within. There is the citizenship and indigenship question within. How many other Igbos live in Aba and in Abia, for example? But, I don't know, 2 years or 3 years ago, that was the indigenship thing, that all non-Abia citizens were sacked from but these people had lived there, worked there, paid their taxes there. They were counted as part of Abia in the census. You collect revenue, more revenue because of them. But then, no, you can't work in there. You are not an indigent. So while we are pointing one finger there, ladies and gentlemen, look closely. The other three are saying, let's get it here. And so how can this new leadership emerge? And then, of course, the entry fee is very high. The fourth, the new Biafranism, and that is my last point. And let me say that Nigeria has wittingly or unwittingly dragged the Biafran issue from the periphery into the mainstream discussion. Nnamdi Kanu, in my view, threw a bait, and Nigeria took it. Today, he is the most popular political prisoner and will end up either as a hero or a martyr. But to his credit, he has forced Nigeria and the world to discuss Biafra. I believe that keeping him there does not do Nigeria any good. I believe this young man should be released, and released like yesterday. I will not be surprised if he becomes a subject of the next political campaigns. Just like we dealt with Awolowo, who was convicted and imprisoned of treason, or Gowon, charged with treason, or even Ojukwu himself was forgiven, and so on and so forth. I don't want to make any predictions, but I believe we need to solve this. Because according to Ofodile, this book, quote, he said, the lesson to be learned, if anyone cares to listen, is that the detention of Nnamdi Kanu, no matter for how long, will not stop the agitation of Biafra, end of quote. He further argues that the detention of Uwazurike between 2005 to 2007 helped to radicalize his followers. The same thing happened when the leader of Boko Haram was killed. His followers became more radicalized. Detention of Nnamdi Kanu, I never heard of him before this time, to be quite honest. Never heard of him. I didn't even know about the IPOB or whatever thing. Until this thing, and you now realize globally it's become an issue and it's become mainstream. Now, and again, quote, he says, this book argues that the idea of a customary government under the Supreme Council of Elders in accordance with customary law enjoys the support among a section of the Igbo. But it is the Biafra or death philosophy of Nnamdi Kanu that found resonance across the length and breadth of the Igbo nation. Therefore, there cannot be a resolution of the Biafran dilemma without a wholesome engagement of the Nnamdi Kanu stroke Uche Mefo faction of IPOB. End of quote. That's what this was. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the trend of IPOB. End of quote. That's what this was. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the trend of IPOB. End of quote. That's what this was. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the trend. That dilemma without a wholesome engagement of the Nnamdi Kanu stroke Uche Mefo faction of IPOB. End of quote. That's what this was. So, if I were President Buhari, quite honestly, I would be very suspicious of anyone who advises me to ignore the Biafran issue. I'll be very suspicious. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or being mischievous or quite patently doesn't mean well for the government itself. It probably wants the same government to repeat the mistakes of the past so that it could lead it down the trend. We must start learning in this country. So let's talk Biafra. Where are the Igbo elite and intelligentsia in all of this, especially those in Nigeria? It seems, as this book points out, this is being driven mostly by the Igbo intelligentsia in diaspora, the new resurgence. The new ones within, there seems to be a division, 3 classes you can identify. The ones within the mainland, and I'm shocked, and you discussed, they have a different point of view. Those in diaspora within Nigeria, so to speak, who are in Abuja and Lagos and so on and so forth, Kano, Kaduna, and so on. And an elder was asked about that, living in one of these northern states, about Biafra, and they asked him, what do you think about this Biafra? He said, well, nah, I just didn't know. In other words, they should keep it up, but you know I can no longer go now. You see all the things I have here, I cannot carry them on my head. So, there seems to be a sense of either denial, and on one part, or people who think, no, it won't be, because we can't just imagine it. And because of some discussion that, oh, okay, if this happens, you will lose your property, you will lose that, and so on. Of course, that is untenable. I mean, I too was wrong on this, because if by any chance you have another state of Biafra, it will be the 16th state of ECOWAS. And that means you have free movement of goods and persons. But the fundamental question, the fundamental issue is that this debate is not happening. This whole thing is being driven almost in a haphazard manner. Last week, they called for, was that last week? Yeah, last week. They called for a sit at home. And even without anybody getting out to more in force and so on, I learned virtually Anambra and many other cities were completely shut down. It just tells you there is something going on. But, again, where is the elite in this? What is missing in a haphazard manner? Last week, they called for, was that last week? Yeah, last week. They called for a sit at home. And even without anybody getting out or more in force and so on, I learned virtually Anambra and many other cities were completely shut down. It just tells you there is something going on. But, was that last week? Yeah, last week. They called for a sit at home. And even without anybody getting out or more in force and so on, I learned virtually Anambra and many other cities were completely shut down. It just tells you there is something going on. But, again, where is the elite in this? What is missing is structured debate and the apparent elite aloofness or complicity or hypocrisy. The elite in denial. For the politicians who think you can just, let's use them temporarily, let's use them. Just go on, while we can then use that to negotiate for something here. I can tell you, you will create a monster that will consume you. When that inferno comes, both us, everybody else, and the kind of thing that happened in Biafra where dissent, any dissent was considered a saboteur. Okay? You might get to a point where you will be telling them, just go on, while we can negotiate here, get something for ourselves in Abuja. I can tell you, these guys are no fools. At some point, they will look at you too and know that you're actually part of the problem. And so on and so forth. So, I say, let the debate must begin. The late Dr. Pius Okibo, in this book as well, presented what the memo by late Dr. Pius Okibo presented to the Biafran government on the economic viability of Biafra. Nobody is talking about what the currency will look like. How will you fare with international trade? What kind of constitution are you talking about? And Affordile forcefully argues here that the Ahira Declaration of 1969 came too late. They had intelligentsia pushing for Biafra, but there was no organized structure. That if they had done what they did towards the end of the war at the beginning, Biafra would not have ended the way that it did. But what is shocking is people talk about this in their bedrooms and in their parlors. And then you come out and everybody is just, and so on. I'm sure it will not take long. So what I am calling is that we must, the elite, the intelligentsia, get out of the closet and let us, now that the issue, the president in New York made a point. He said there will be no referendum in Biafra. Now, and I said, my reaction to it was, oh my God. So this matter has actually gotten to the point where we are now talking whether to have referendum or not to have referendum. The moment you've reached that point, it tells you that it's only a matter of time. But who is driving the debate? The New Sikhism, New Biafranism, and so on and so forth. Everybody seems to be quite quiet. And finally, let me agree with Wole Soyinka that Biafra is an idea. And that is what this book talks about. You can't defeat it with guns or prison cells. The only way to defeat it is to offer a counter narrative. What should, there has been none, no counter narrative until now. What Honorable Ofodile has done is to provide very powerful, not only counter narrative, but counter narratives. And I will say, and stresses the urgency of action now. The clock is ticking, and I can only end by congratulating Chode for this eminent work. Thank you very much.
The same mouth of Soludo that he used to say, you cannot defeat Biafra ideology with guns and bullets, is that same mouth that is using guns and bullets to go after the Biafra people today in Anambra. The same mouth he used to say that the politicians should not use the Biafra agitators and say, let us just use them and then later we dump them just for our political gains, that it will backfire on them, is the same way that Soludo has used IPOB political groups and later dump them. Now it is backfiring on Soludo. The same way Soludo said that during the political campaign, that some people will use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case and will use Biafra case to play politics just to be able to garner the support of Biafrans to get voted into political office with the promises that when he comes to office, he will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he will support Biafra, and he will give them Biafra. That is exactly what Soludo did. Soludo used Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to play politics. He deceived the DOS, an IPOB political wing. He publicized the biggest and the widest billboard. He put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu photo and then also put himself and say, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This was when he was looking for the political support of Biafrans. What did Soludo say in the video that we played of 2016 that has not backfired on him? That he has not come to play the same card of everything he enumerated in the video. There is nothing that Soludo said in that video which he has not violated, which he has not done in line with the way he said it, which he used to criticize the politicians. The same Soludo that criticized Buhari when Buhari said there will be no referendum, that Biafra and Nigeria cannot be negotiated on the table. Then he said, oh, Buhari, you are wrong, that Nigeria can be negotiated. It can be splitted into pieces. It is that same mouth that he is using today to depict everything that Buhari said, which he condemned Buhari. And today, he is now the Buhari in Biafra land. Doing even worse than Buhari, Buhari did not have the power to close and shut down Biafran market because he did not know Biafrans finish, go reach their mama belle and where they live and what they do for a living. But Soludo knows Biafrans from where they live, what they eat, how they work, how they communicate, and their parents. So the Fulani terrorist tends to use Soludo to destroy his own Biafran people. And people should stop saying Soludo is not a Biafran, please. When you're making all those utterances, it makes people that is listening to you and looking at you to see you to be sounding very stupid. Yes, because when Soludo was speaking well for Biafra, you say, oh, this is a Biafran. When he was not poisoned with the Fulani voodoo, he was speaking well. You acclaimed him to be a Biafran. You gave him your support. When he did not go into Nigerian politics, which means when you go in, destroy your people for Fulani jihad to prevail. As at that time, all of you were clapping and say Soludo is doing well. Soludo is the central bank governor of Nigeria. Soludo is a Biafra. Soludo is Igbo man. Why is it that anytime where somebody don't go, shit for temple, cut Bible, clean yash, you now tend to say he's no more a Biafran? No. Call evil out of who he is. Did his mother and father just become Fulani overnight because he now starts working for Fulani? No. He is a Biafran. He has been a Biafran before. Just like many of you are Biafrans, but you sell your birthright out. You sell your souls out to betray Biafra. Ife Juna was not a Yoruba. Ife Juna was not Fulani. Azikiwe was not Yoruba, was not Fulani. But were they not the one that led a plan to eliminate their own brothers that were fighting for Biafra? So come of it. And don't be acting stupid and sounding stupid when you say Soludo, who has taken the path of destruction against Biafran people, are not Biafrans. Everything that Soludo have said in this video of 2016, all of them are what he is doing on the contrary. What he said against Nigerian government is everything that he is doing now. He is actually the Nigerian government of today. I salute all Biafrans. And I salute our leaders that have lived before us, starting from Ojukwu, Philip Effiong and his entire men, coming down to Owazirike time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison, Mai Simon Ekpa in prison, and the defense forces that are fighting to defend Biafra land. You are all shattered and scattered everywhere for your sacrifices of Biafra. We appreciate all of you. And before I continue, our PM will be joining us anytime soon to say a few words to Biafrans. Few months ago, I posted this video. Let me play it before I say what I want to go on to say, because it has become imperative to call some of you to order, because a lot of you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, and then you expect to have a different result. You may think that you are doing me or doing those you don't like, no, that are in government today. But any good you do for yourself. Any bad you do for yourself. But I will not sit down and watch and see some of you dragging us backward when we are making series of progress. A few weeks ago, I posted this video out.
Order.
And this was on the 8th of January. And let me play it again.
No order from DSS dungeon. The reason for us not taking order anymore from the DSS dungeon is to...
Same way you listen to that message from the beginning. We are not taking orders from DSS dungeon, from Nigerian prison. We are not taking order from Finland prison. The reason for that is to protect those our leaders, to protect Mazinam Ndekane from prison, to protect Mazi Saifoneba from prison. So any order that is coming out from prison now, from Finland and from Nigeria, from these leaders, we are not taking that order because it is for their own good. They can't be in prison and be leading people that are here and be giving orders. Because if we use what they are saying to do anything, it will implicate them and they will not come out again forever. They will be dead and gone inside prison because everything we will use their name to do will implicate them. So we are not taking orders from them in prison.
Guard our leader. We want our leader to be safe. We want to exonerate our leader from anything that Biafrans will be doing for his own best interest. So
anything that we shall be doing going forward in 2025, 2026, 2027, or till Biafra comes, as far as our leaders are in prison, we will not tag their name. We will not put that they are the one giving the order, or they said this, or they directed this. It is for their own good. It is to keep them away, because if we put their names, it will be used against them. So for all of you that are using our leader's name, Simon Ekpa name, Mazinam Dekano name, and then you say he is giving order, he's telling you to come and do this, telling you to come and do this, desist from it. And all of you that are trying to follow that a message that Emma and the rest of them are sending to you, you are digging the graves of our leaders that are in prison. Stop it, because you're going to implicate them the more. Somebody cannot be in prison and be the one giving you orders here.
any actions that Biafra people will be taking in Biafra land, you don't attach Mazinam Ndekane to it.
Any action that Biafrans will be taking, BRGIO, Biafra Defense Forces, Biafrans in the homeland, or any Biafran taking for Biafran quest, don't attach Mazi Simon Ekpa name to it or Mazinam Ndekane. Don't tag their name to implicate them.
Any action that Biafrans will be taking in Biafra land for the freedom of Biafra, the freedom of Mazinam Ndekane, and freedom of all prisoners of conscience, you don't bring Mazinam Ndekane to it.
I played that video, or I posted, or I made that video on the 8th of January. I hope so, 8th of January. That was when I posted that one out. But I don't know when I actually made it. But it has become a model for all of you that will come to the media to speak. You'll be dragging the names of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa into every pronouncement that you're making. And this message is to everybody as a Biafran, from which any department to another. There is a reason why you have incumbent prime minister in office. There is a reason why you have incumbent prime minister in office. The prime minister in prison, his name is still a prime minister. Yes. But he is not in service anymore. The president of America that served before Donald Trump, you still call him President Obama. You still call him President Biden. You still call him President Bush. Even President Obama, let me go to Obama's Twitter page, so that it wouldn't be as if I am just talking. Let me go to Obama page. Let me go to President Obama's page. I don't want to just be talking. I want to talk and then, as I'm talking, I'm explaining something so that all of you will understand my point. This is Obama's page on Twitter or Obama's official account. Hmm? This is President Obama's official account on Twitter. What do you see there? You see Barack Obama, dad, husband, president, and citizen of the United States of Biafra. You see president, right? For those of you that are having stomach ache and having problems with the word, the incumbent prime minister, the ex-prime minister, the one that is in office now, I want all of you to look at Obama. Obama is still addressed or profiled as president on his official account. If you go to the list of President of America, you will still see his name there as President of America, but not as incumbent president. Incumbent president is the person that is in office. Incumbent president is the person that is in office. Incumbent prime minister is the person that is in office. So when I see all of you coming out in the media to disgrace yourself and causing more problem for these leaders that are inside prison, I laugh at all of you. Now also look at the memo that was dropped by Obama here. This was 25 of January. 25 of January 2026. What did you see there? You see statement by President Obama and Mrs. Obama. One time a president or one time a prime minister is still a prime minister, is still a president, but is not the incumbent president in office. Now, Obama is ex-president of America, a one-time president of America, and is still addressed as President Obama. But I want to ask you, can Obama take any decision as president of America today? He cannot. He is not the incumbent president of America. He is not the one in office. He was once in that office. He is inactive in that office today. But he still bears that title because it's a badge of honor to have served in that office. He will bear that title till he dies. But you need to understand who is the incumbent president, who is acting now, who is in office, who is active in office, who is the person that is the president now, who is the person that is the prime minister now. I believe what I just showed on the screen now should puncture the ego, the self-pride, the hatred, the backstabbing, the jealousy, the uncompromising element in many of you who claims and tends to be educated, but you have the dead brain fools. Yes, because you happen to be the dead brain fools who do not know the left from the right. But yet, you will claim that you know. You claim you know more than every other person, but you don't know anything. So what I just explained now on the screen can help some of you that are ready to learn. But those that are ready to continue to be stupid, you can continue to be stupid. It's none of my business because there is no how you can help an idiot. An idiot will continue to be an idiot from generations to generations, even with all the sacrifices that you do to deliver their brains. So when you come online and then you are dishing out any message, whether it be your broadcast or whether whatever you're talking or whether you're talking and you're calling these people or calling that or saying anything that you're saying, and then you're dragging my Simon Ekpa's name into it. You're dragging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name into it. You're causing more problems to them. We don't have problem with whatever terminology you use to in addressing these leaders in prison. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a prime minister and is in prison. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a supreme leader and is in prison. But they are not the incumbent leader of this government now. We have incumbent leader of this government who are active in office. So you can address our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa as Prime Minister. You can address Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as our Supreme Leader. They are in prison, but we have incumbent leader in this government now who is not in prison. I want to also ask some of you. Venezuela president was captured by the US government because of his drug deals and affiliations and corruption and the destruction of lives and properties using the narcotics businesses. Now, why has the Venezuela people, or why has Venezuelan government now has a new president or a new government in power? Why have they not said they have to go to American prison to go and meet Maduro, Venezuela president who is inside prison, to lead them from inside prison? But instead, they set up a new leadership structure. They move on with the governance of the Venezuela people. Why is it that when it comes to you people, when our brain, they die instead of to develop? Why is it that anything that involves Biafran people, you must always see one chain that is wangling from left to right? Even when people are trying to educate you, you want to exercise dead brain syndrome. You want to exercise dead brain syndrome. You want President Maduro, who is inside prison of America, to give you order and instruction from American prison to the people of Venezuela on how to rule and lead themselves and their governance affairs. See? Very foolish people. The same way all of you will come to the social media, you want Mazi Simon Ekpa to be incumbent prime minister inside prison and to lead you and give you instruction from inside prison. The same way you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to stay inside prison and lead you and give you orders and instruction from inside prison. Many of you need brain overhaul. Brain overhaul. They need to put your brains in a machine and then overhaul your brain to see whether there will be a total reset, because you need help, honestly. So going forward, please desist from coming to the social media and you're dragging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name, Mazi Simon Ekpa's name into whatever publication or voice note or program or message or update that you're leaving. If you want them to come out faster, stop using their names in pronouncing anything in whatever you're doing. Yes, he's a prime minister of Biafra people who served and is not in office now, he's in prison. Yes, he's the supreme leader of Biafran people who is in prison. But stop coming to make pronouncements with their names. Stop coming to be calling their names and adding to whatever you're saying. Because instead of you helping him to come out freely, if you come out now, whatever atrocity or whatever you're committing and you're doing, and then you're calling their names, that you're acting for them, that they are the ones you're talking to, that you're working for them, it's like you are in communication with them from prison. And they are sending you message to come and do what you're doing. And those that are investigating them will now go and start monitoring their movement in prison to trail and see if they will capture any audio message transmission or any message that they send out from prison to get to you. And that will infringe and destroy their freedom. For those of you that tends to use hatred while you're fighting for this freedom, wake up from your slumber, because you may think that you are doing Sonny or you're doing Nkere or you're doing BRJA because you hate the strategy we are using today. You will end up sabotaging and destroying Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who are in prison. Listen to me, oh. The incumbent Prime Minister, who is active in service today, cannot come out and is making a pronouncement and is calling Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name inside. We will only make pronouncement and claim responsibility for what we are saying. We will not drag our leaders there inside and put. That is why we have incumbent leadership here. So that whatever is happening here now, whatever we are doing here now, they will not use against those that are in prison to tighten up their own case. No. Hold us responsible for whatever is happening under our watch. Only hold those that are in prison for what happened under their watch. Don't come and carry what is happening under our watch and add to their own. Because you hear some people come and use their names to pronounce and say they are doing this to their freedom. They are doing this on their mandate. They are doing this, they are doing that, and they call their names and attach. No. Take their names from your mouth henceforth. We salute all Biafran people, and we expect the presence of our Prime Minister to say a few words to Biafrans before we bring this program down. It's not going to be a long one. But before we do that, let us bring something up. There is a news we saw about the Sharia government of Nigeria. Sharia government of Nigeria said they will not do what? They will not recognize Nigeria INEC. That's why we're asking. That's why we're asking what is actually happening. And we are connecting it to Soludo. Soludo, Sharia government of Nigeria, the same Sharia which Donald Trump told them to disband. Eh, the same Sharia that Donald Trump told them to disband. Today, they are telling you that they will reject INEC, and they will not take anything that INEC says. So we are calling on Soludo to ask Soludo a very pertinent question. And that question is here. Soludo, the Fulanese and the Mujahideen in the far north of one Nigeria, they say they will not accept INEC political result and election, blah, blah, blah. So the question is, Oga Soludo and all the fools and the EU that are working to uphold the integrity of Nigeria. The Fulani people say they will not accept INEC result or INEC conducting Nigeria election under the supervision of the newly elected INEC chairman. Do you know why they say so? They say because the INEC chairman had earlier condemned the Christian genocide. So, just like Gumi said, do not elect any politician into power who will come to crush the Fulani terrorists, their bandits, their jihadist terrorists, their Boko Haram, Sharia, and Jihad, because they are fighting for their own implementation of Sharia. So when the Sharia Council, now do you now believe now when America said disband Sharia? Do you now believe when American government said disband Sharia? US to Nigeria, disband Sharia. I'm looking for the publication to bring it to the screen. Oh my God. Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Nigeria, 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 Nigeria. Let's see this. Let's see this. Before we come back to read this, let's see this. I want you all to look at the news. U.S. Congress urged to pressure Nigerian government to end Sharia law. Can you see that? Can you all see that? U.S. Congress urged to pressure Nigerian government to end Sharia law. Now, let us play it so that you hear it, so that you will not say, oh, I did not hear it, or it's a lie. Hear it from them. Hear it.
Legislators have convened yet another in a series of congressional investigations into what they have consistently tagged targeted and unchecked violence against Christians in Nigeria. At a joint briefing of the United States Congress, lawmakers and expert witnesses firmly rejected claims that the killings and mass displacement in Nigeria are driven by resource disputes. Instead, they warned that extremist groups are exploiting religious laws and enforcement bodies operating in northern Nigeria, deepening what they describe as a growing campaign of persecution. U.S. congressmen were urged to pressure the Nigerian government to abolish Sharia criminal codes in the 12 northern states where they have been implemented and to disband the Hizbah religious police. Academic and senior fellow of the Council for Foreign Relations, Dr. Ebenezer Obadari, told the bipartisan panel that Boko Haram, ISWAP, and radicalized militant groups continue to use these structures to impose extremist ideology, carry out forced conversions, and operate with impunity. The briefing, held in response to President Donald Trump's recent redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern featured stark warnings from lawmakers of both Republicans and Democratic extraction who accused the Nigerian government of failing to stop large-scale killings, kidnappings, and attacks on religious communities, and urged Washington to maintain pressure, including potential conditions on U.S. aid, until stronger action is taken. Nigerian government to abolish
Thank you to our viewers and everyone that are joining us. You just listened to this news. This is 1 month ago, to be precise. Let me open the date so that you see. This was on 3rd of December 2025. So, the US lawmakers were right that there is a Sharia law embedded inside Nigerian constitution, and it is the bedrock and the standing point, the leeway to the terrorists in Nigeria to slaughter Christians. And they told them disband the Sharia law. They refused. And after they refused, they later launched attack. And they have even done kidnapping. That was why on the 25th of December, there was guns ablazing and bomb on the terrorists in Nigeria. And since then, the same Nigerian government have still headed them and supervised them in the kidnapping of other people. About 178 people are inside the hands of the terrorists as we speak now, that were kidnapped on Sunday, 2 weeks ago now.
legislators have convened yet another in a series of congressional investigations into what they have consistently tagged targeted and unchecked violence against Christians in Nigeria. At a joint briefing of the United States Congress, lawmakers and expert witnesses firmly rejected claims that the killings and mass displacement in Nigeria are driven by resource disputes. Instead, they warned that extremist groups are exploiting religious laws and enforcement bodies operating in northern Nigeria, deepening what they describe as a growing campaign of persecution. U.S. congressmen were urged to pressure the Nigerian government to abolish Sharia criminal codes in the 12 northern states where they have been implemented and to disband the Hisbah religious police. Academic and senior fellow of the Council for Foreign Relations, Dr. Ebenezer Obadari, told the bipartisan panel that Boko Haram, ISWAP, and radicalized militant groups continue to use these structures to impose extremist ideology, carry out forced conversions, and operate with impunity. The briefing, held in response to President Donald Trump's recent redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, featured stark warnings from lawmakers of both Republicans and Democratic extraction who accused the Nigerian government of failing to stop large-scale killings, kidnappings, and attacks on religious communities, and urged Washington to maintain pressure, including potential conditions on U.S. aid, until stronger action is taken. U.S. legislators have convened yet another in a series of congressional investigations into what they have consistently tagged targeted and unchecked violence against Christians in Nigeria. At a joint briefing of the United States Congress, lawmakers and expert witnesses firmly rejected claims that the killings and mass displacement in Nigeria are driven by resource disputes. Instead, they warned that extremist groups are exploiting religious laws and enforcement bodies operating in northern Nigeria, deepening what they describe as a growing campaign of persecution. U.S. congressmen were urged to pressure the Nigerian government to abolish Sharia criminal codes in the 12 northern states where they have been implemented and to disband the Hizbah religious police. Academic and senior fellow of the Council for Foreign Relations, Dr. Ebenezer Obadari, told the bipartisan panel that Boko Haram, ISWAP, and radicalized militant groups continue to use these structures to impose extremist ideology, carry out forced conversions, and operate with impunity. The briefing, held in response to President Donald Trump's recent redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, featured stark warnings from lawmakers of both Republicans and Democratic extraction who accused the Nigerian government of failing to stop large-scale killings, kidnappings, and attacks on religious communities, and urged Washington to maintain pressure, including potential conditions on U.S. aid, until stronger action is taken.
And today, that Sharia law and Ishba, which US government told Nigeria to disband, which they refused to disband, they are using it against, they are using it against, they are using it against the citizens today. So, we hate to see things happen this way. But I want to tell everybody that American government would not break Nigeria into pieces. When the Nigerians are not ready for Nigeria to be broken to pieces, if they don't want the change. Because when you look at the Venezuelans, they cried for help.
Is someone
And
that,
they,
if I remember, the way you used to help me before, and this thing happened to me, in fact, I can't sleep. I can't
where
even,
is
I
that
won't
noise
have,
coming out from? Okay. The Venezuelans protested and then they cried out in the street and said they need help. The Iranians are crying out and said they need help. So before this can be achieved, American government need to see your willingness of freedom. So if you're sitting waiting for American government to come and divide Nigeria into pieces, you're wasting your time. Boko Haram terrorists will continue to take you down. You see, that is the Sharia that America said they should disband. They refuse. Today, that Sharia is what they are using to speak. They are speaking from the council of that Sharia. And how many of you can do them anything? Nobody. Nobody is able to do them anything. You see the boldness? They are using the Sharia Council now to speak. And they are speaking from the Sharia Council as if that is the National Assembly of Nigeria. You see? Let us read what they said so that for those of you that are living in denial, you will be able to know the doom that is coming to you. Sharia Council to INEC, we won't accept compromise election in 2027. The Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria has declared that it will not recognize or legitimize elections conducted under conditions it considers compromise, warning that the credibility of Nigeria's democratic election process must be protected ahead of 2027. Why did they say so? The position was announced because they said that the new INEC chairman,
I'm looking at him. Oh,
had before condemned what? Condemned the Christian genocide. They say they have lost confidence in in the institutions, particularly those responsible for elections. They will not recognize the election that will come out from this very council. Let me read from here. The body expressed concern over developments surrounding the leadership of the Independent Electoral Commission, warning that elections conducted under questionable circumstances will lack trust. It said no election under a cloud of compromised integrity can be recognized, as the council stated. Beyond electoral matters, the Sharia painted a picture of the state of the nation, describing Nigeria as facing worsening insecurity, economic hardship, and declining public trust, with millions struggling under inflation, unemployment, and rising cost of living. This is not the main reason why they wrote this disclaimer. The main reason they wrote this thing, they said, is because that the chairman, let me see whether this is where I'm going to see it. Here it comes. See it here now. Listen, oh, the Council of the Sharia has provided irrefutable evidence or evidential data demonstrating that Muslim communities constitute a disproportionate number or disproportionate number of victims in the ongoing insecurity and terrorism across Nigeria. Umar said, adding that every human life, Muslim or Christian, is sacred and inviolable. The council also rejected that what it described as misleading and inflammatory narratives around religious violence, urging responsible public discourse to avoid deepening divisions. The council confirmed, or the council firmly debunked and rejected misleading and inflammatory propaganda, including the so-called Christian genocide. Oh my God. Hey, do you know why they are catching on the Christian genocide as a topic here or as excuse? They said that this chairman of INEC had proclaimed and made it known before and cried out that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. So because he had poured out his mind and told the entire world the truth, that is why the Sharia Council said they don't want him to be the INEC chairman, because for him to have exposed that there is Christian genocide, that means he is not working to make sure Nigeria bad image is hidden in the public. That is supposed to be somebody that will hide the bad image of Nigeria, the genocide, the persecution, and everything that is happening. And then even if they are cutting off heads of babies, women, and children, he will not bring it out. But because this INEC chairman has before now publicly decried about the Christian genocide carried out by these jihadist terrorists. So they disagree that having him as the chairman of INEC will not go well with them, that it will not favor them as the Sharia Council. So in this publication, I think those that put up this publication, they have refused to put this thing the way it came, because there is another publication where they quoted outrightly that the main reason why they are saying this is because this INEC chairman has condemned these terrorists for carrying out the Christian genocide. So because of that, they don't want to have somebody that is condemning Nigeria for evil to be the chairman of the INEC, that it will not favor them. Those that are making this reportage on this Vanguard, they have decided to remove that part. And then they are now using a ongoing war in Gaza, tax reform, Palestinian, and all this that is happening in other places. Those are what they are using as their excuses. They have refused to use the exact point which these people use to say they disqualify the INEC chairman. And anything that will happen on that is watch. Because this misleading, inflammatory narrative, which they said, and that they are debunking it, and then they say it is a propaganda, inflammatory propaganda. It was said to have emanated from the chairman, this newly elected chairman of INEC. So the Sharia Council feels that their integrity is threatened. That with this, their Sharia will not come to fruition. That is their fears. So, Soludo, we are calling on you and asking you, Alpha, when Sharia Council is already going against the INEC Commission, because one of the members of the INEC Commission supports end to Christian genocide. And then they say they don't need somebody that is saying end to Christian genocide to be a chairman of INEC Commission. They need someone that supports more of the genocide on Christians in Nigeria, so that that person, he will not be standing against any decision that the Sharia court, the Sharia Council, will bring out against Christians. Where is Soludo? And where is Naya Baribe? Where are all these useless people who what they know how to do best is only to look for the death of Biafrans? Where are they? We want them to come and fight the fight here now with the Fulani Terrorist Sharia Council. So in Nigeria, you have the Nigerian Constitution, you have the Senate, you have the National Assembly, you have the House of Reps, and then the Sharia Council, who decides what the National Assembly and the State Assembly should do. All right. We are glad to have our PM in the house, and he will take the stage from here to address Biafrans ahead of the week. I salute all of you, and Honorable PM, you're welcome to the stage. Thank you for having you. Take over from here, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Information, Mazi Soni Agbarawa. Biafran people really appreciate you, and from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. Keep doing what you are doing. Keep fighting for your people. We love you. We love you so much. Good evening from here, my fellow citizens. Greetings from Biafra Republic government in Ezra and the entire cabinet. Send their greetings to Biafras. We appreciate everyone, each and every one of you, what you'll be doing, how you'll be contributing towards our freedom. Our freedom is in our hand. It will be given to us in a platter of gold. If we really want to be free, we need to focus. Don't be distracted. There is distraction flying right and left from every angle. Please don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Keep doing what you are doing. You know what you want. You know who you are. If you are fighting genuinely, you know you are. If you are sabotaging what we are doing, you know you are doing it. Just like Soludo have made himself topic of the week. This is a man that years ago, he once talked like a Biafran, sympathized about our cause. He talked about our leader, Mazin Namdekan, the reason why he was detained. And he also made a suggestion why Mazin Namdekan should be released. But this man is speaking from both sides of his mouth today. There is this saying that goes that charity begins at home. Please, Honorable Minister of Information, can you by chance show us Soludo's son? I think, let me see if I can look it up. This is somebody who want to champion Biafran people, who want to be our Biafran champion, who wants better life according to him, that he wants Biafran's better life. But Soludo can't even take care of his family. There is nothing to write about Soludo's son, Arumere. Soludo is drawing how Onitsha market is going to look like. 4 years ago, the same evil, illegitimate governor that is working with the Nigerian terrorist state said he will turn Anambra to Dubai. Citizens of Anambarians. Is Anambra like Dubai as we speak? The answer is no. This man is a politician that
PM,
only cares
you asked
about
for
the picture.
you asked for Soludo's son's picture. Should I display
Yeah.
it?
Okay, please kindly do that. It's very important.
Oh my God, this is a picture.
Soludo, shame on you, evil man. Look at Soludo, what happened to your son? Last time I checked, just few months ago, there's a TikTok video where Soludo is dancing with his son. Soludo, look at your son. You can't even take care of your family. You can't even raise your son to be a better boy or a better man. God will punish you. And you want to come and educate Anambarians how to run their business. when they should open their business, and when they should lock it up. How many of these Anambarians do you, Soludo, set up business? Do you sponsor any of them? Evil man. Look at your son, Soludo. I doubt it if you are a Biafra. Should be ashamed of yourself. Soludo and Obasanjo scam the same country called Nigeria by printing fake money, fake, low quality money. People of Anambra, especially Onisha, if you all allow this one individual, it's true that he's working with the Nigerian terrorists. If you allow Soludo to lock your shop, to bully you, look at oh God. Honorable Minister of Information, are you sure this is Soludo's son?
Hello, Mero.
God of Israel. God of Biafra, where are you? Soludo, look at your son. Can your son trade at main market on the shop? Can your son do buying and selling? Can this your son import goods from China, Hong Kong, Taiwan to Biafra land? Evil. Evil is very, very bad. People of Anambra, people of Onitsha, if you allow Soludo to bully you, especially for the gentlemen, for those that call themselves Odogu, for those that call themselves name and title, as men that can defend their fatherland, as men that can defend the motherland, you allow Soludo to bully you. You are not man enough. You should be ashamed of yourself. Soludo deserves to be beat down, flogged like a little baby. I've never seen anywhere in history of mankind where a so-called governor that's supposed to govern over people, look after people. It's true that he is an illegitimate governor. And this man parading himself as governor with the Nigerian military that he used as, for cover up, because they shared him. If not, he will not spend a day in Biafra land. Never seen anywhere where a governor, so-called governor, will go and lock up businesses of the same citizens that he's supposed to govern, and want to starve them to death. Economic jihad. Talking about he will demolish, he will bring bulldozer to destroy their businesses, to bring the business down. We are talking about business that worth billions of dollars. We are not talking about that useless money called Nigeria, Naira. Billions of dollars. The same Onisha. Anytime there is a fire outbreak at Onisha, you cannot see no fire department even available, even if they do, or if they are around. They will tell you they don't have water. Fire service will disappear. How many times have Onisha market been on fire? The same citizens of Anambra, the same citizens of Onitsha, They're still the same people that will do whatever they can to quench the fire. These people will struggle to make sure they put out this fire. Where is the so-called government? Fair government. The same on the main market. There is no electricity. The people power their own, they have their own generation that supply them power. This is called self-governance. Basically, the people of Onitsha take care of themselves. Whether there is government there, you can't even tell. Because the government provides nothing. No electricity, no running water, no security, no good workable hospital. The education system is calm, just like P2B said Nigeria breeds criminal. Everything in that Nigeria is calm. This is one of the reasons the Anambarians are sitting at home. Because they want their freedom. And they also want their leader to be released. It's part of how to show concern and to also let the international community know about their readiness and to leave Nigeria. And they also sending us a signal to the world of their displeasure about the so-called terrorist country called Nigeria. The chairman of the market union, the chairman, be careful. Don't work with these politicians that don't care about you. Don't let all these politicians like Soludo influence you. Because any wrong decision you make today, you will be held accountable. Karma is real. What goes around comes around. The market leaders, be careful. If not, Biafrans will also hold you accountable. On Monday, the Biafran people for the past 3 years, they've been sitting at home. And they choose to do that. They're not complaining. They love it. It's voluntary. They're just showing how their displeasure about the so-called Nigeria as a country that is terrorizing them. They have the right to protest. You can protest by locking up your shop. You can protest by selling all your goods, said you sell no more. You can protest by even moving your business out of Anambra to anywhere else. It's your right. And I believe there is a bilateral agreement between the terrorist state of Nigeria and United States of America. I believe it's been signed where people can express themselves, freedom of gathering, freedom to protest. Let's see what's going to happen. If the Nigerian terrorist state will come and start shooting peaceful protesters, or those that want their voice to be heard, this freedom, we must get it. It don't matter how long. It don't matter the sabotage. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once said, we have many mountains to climb. There is obstacle everywhere. And we can see it playing out today. the Prime Minister of the Biafran people, Mazio Gechukunkere, I have become a stumbling block. I'm laughing because enemy of Biafrans, if you all know what I'm made of, you will leave me alone. I'm not alone. I'm not doing what I'm doing by myself. Him who sent me, our Father who art in heaven, the God who created the Biafran people, sent me a message because he said he is God of love, God of justice, God that hates injustice. He encouraged us to imitate him when he sent his beloved Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior. He encouraged us to be Christ-like, doing what is right, fighting for freedom, just the same way our Lord came from heaven to redeem us, to fight for freedom. Jesus Christ remained the greatest freedom fighter of all time. He came down here to fight the injustice and to teach us what to do so that we all can be saved. And the God of love, if we love him, that we must do what is right, that if we love him, we must free those that have been oppressed like the Biafran people, that if we love him, we should love our neighbors. Our God said that if we love him, that we need to be upright all the time. To live and let live. That is what I'm doing today. I'm fighting a just cause to free Biafrans, to free my people, to free your people, to free you, and to also free me. All the saboteurs, all the evil people, please shade your sword, put your sword back, because the time when we need that sword to fight is fast approaching. Use the sword against our enemy. I am Mazio Gechukunkere, I'm not your enemy. I'm just a messenger. And I will make sure I deliver my message. I will make sure I fight the good fight. Few days ago, enemies of Biafrans, they always want to do something they will do to mock me. Do I look like somebody who is stressed out from the shenanigans going on social media? Whatever nonsense they are doing, that don't matter. What matters is the result. What matters is the relationship of Biafran people with the leader of the free world. When I say the leader of the free world, you know what I'm talking about. United States of America. If you can't beat them, you join them. We encourage all the evil terrorist countries of the world to align themselves with the leader of the free world, United States of America, so we can make this world a better place, so that we can make this world livable, so that we can make this world enjoyable. That is the reason why we Biafran people are fighting to free ourselves from the bondage, from the enslavement of this Nigerian terrorist state. We all see how Nigeria has been disgraced all over the world. Wherever they go, they stumble, they fall. Just like Tinubu just few days ago in Turkey. Tinubu can't even walk. Honorable Minister of Information, let's see what happened to Tinubu. Because that's exactly how the Nigerian terrorist state been fumbling all around the world. When they were signing an agreement, I believe they already signed the agreement with the United States of America just few hours, few days ago, about the people of the region, whether the area where they still occupy, of which we are chasing them out of our land, by the way, that people should be free to gather, to have assemble and express their view, also protest, that people should be free. Free speech as well should be allowed. They did not know that they just shoot themselves on the foot. We'll see how this will play out. I have a good news to you, my fellow citizens of Biafra. Rejoice. Biafra is here. Our God that answers our prayer have answered our prayer. Just the same way he answered our prayer of our grandfathers of old. The same way he answered our prayer by sending us a Savior, Jesus Christ, to come and save us. Are we going to walk towards this prayer that God have answered? If we don't do what we're supposed to do, what do you think will happen? Please, this is time we all need to come together, fund our freedom, do what we're supposed to do. This is the time. God have answered our prayer. For over 50 years, Washington have not been talking about Biafra till just recent few years. Since 2024, Washington have been discussing and talking about Biafra. Is not prayer answered? Let's watch the president of this terrorist country called Nigeria. What a shame. Where are all these professors, doctors, intellectuals of Nigeria? What's going on there? This is what in that contraption they say, Satan have fought to God and Masha. What is happening here? The next thing you're going to hear is that this man is no more. They will now probably clone Sheyi, his son, just the same way they cloned Buhari when Buhari died, 2017, somewhere in London or Great Britain, whatever you call those people, because they support terrorists too. And they cover up. They even cover to let the world know that Buhari is still alive. The next thing we know, they clone somebody called Jubri. This man, very soon, that's what will happen. Another cloning part 2. What a shame. What a shame. All you professors, doctors, engineers, intellectuals, look at who you call your president. Are you not ashamed of yourself to identify yourself as a Nigerian? Thank God that I am a Biafra. Thank God for all you that believe in Biafra and identify yourself as Biafra. Thank Chukwokike Abiam, our God who live in heaven. When I say our God, I'm not talking about the God that promised some group of people or group of organization that he will be giving them 72 virgins after they come and commit all manner of atrocity, massacre, rape women, behead children. That their God that promised them that when they get to heaven, he will give them, they will get 72 virgin. He probably have increased it to 82 or maybe 92. You know, things change. That their fake God, that is not the God I'm talking about. I'm talking about the God, Jehovah God, who live in heaven. The real God. God that showed mercy. God that never encourages you to go and behead people's head, to rape women and children. Our God don't encourage that. That is atrocity in the eyes of our God. But the evil God of the Islamic jihadist terrorists is a blood-sucking demon God. God that meant no good. God that allowed 9-year-old baby to be married. What a shameful God! If you worship the real God, who his son is Jesus Christ, shout hallelujah! Because our God is real. And we Biafran Christians, we will never allow the Islamic jihadist terrorists to overrun our land. It can never happen. Not today, not tomorrow. And Soludo, if you so much love the Nigerian terrorist country, pack your load. Leave the Anambarians alone. Leave Biafra land alone. Go to Kawanchan. Go to one of their 12 states where they practice their Sharia. You can go there and maybe you being a jihadist, Soludo, that's 72 virgin. Their God may even make it 100 virgin for you. Evil people. Please, Biafrans, if you are still sitting at home, you know the reason why you are sitting at home. If you stop sitting at home, ask yourself question, have you achieved your goal? Have you achieved the purpose of you sitting at home for all these years? If you haven't, continue sitting at home. That is your weapon. That is the reason why the world is talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. That is the reason why they are talking about your freedom. That is the reason why they are not talking about Biafra and what they need to do for Biafra to be free. Don't let no one take your weapon from you. That is the weapon you have. That is how you are sending your message to the whole wide world that you are sitting at home for one reason, because you want to be free and you want your leader to be released. If somebody asks question, why are the Anambarians, the Onishas, not opening their market on Mondays? The answer will be, is solidarity of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also a way of evicting Nigeria from our land, and at the same time All the Mondays that you be trading, opening your businesses before 2021, what have you achieved since the amalgamation of that scam country called Nigeria? Since 1914 to 2014, 100 years. 2014 to 2021, 7 years. Since 107 years, have your Nisha. The problem is that for a good 107 years, Nigeria never make your life better. Nigeria never give you the basic amenities that every human being need to survive. Nigeria never offer you anything good. The place stink. Sewer system, zero. No sewer system. No running water. No electricity. When you pick up the phone, dial 911. In the next 48 hours, no police, no ambulance will show up. It doesn't work. If you're able to have any of the police officer or DPO number, when you reach out to them, they will ask you, do you have a vehicle to come get them? Then the police or whatever, the law enforcement agency, whatever department it is, they will tell you they don't have gas in their car. They don't have fuel. They can't make it to you. Is that the kind of country you want to be? So, Ludo, before the sit-at-home kickoff, for 107 years, Nigeria did not benefit the Biafran people. No workable seaport, no international airport, no liaison offices or government embassies from around the world. Even the contraption country called Nigeria don't even have their secretariats offices in Biafra land because they make Biafra land habitable. They make Biafra land not to develop. That is why thousands and millions of Biafras have to flee to Abuja, to Lagos. Go to Lagos State today, in the south west of Nigeria. Biafrans develop Lagos State because they make our place uninhabitable. Go to Abuja, Biafrans develop Abuja. For 107 years before the sit-at-home started, we did not benefit anything from Nigeria. And for these 107 years, there is nothing like sit-at-home. Market every Monday on the shop. Market is booming. On the shop market, people are running their businesses, doing whatever they would do to make sure they get their daily living to survive. Upon that, the place still undeveloped. No security, no electricity, no running water. Everywhere stink. And 4 years ago, Soludo promised the Onisha people, the Anambarians, that he will transform Onisha to Dubai. My fellow citizens of Anambra, how is Anambra? Is Anambra Dubai now? Is it beautiful? Leave all these politicians that we Biafra Republic government in exile and the entire Biafrans, we did not recognize them. Soludo is just forcing himself to be the governor of Biafran people, of which with the armor tanker that follow him around because he know what will happen. if he don't have all these machineries, all these terrorists surrounding him. But we promise him, we will hold him accountable. Nigeria is not working. Since Nigeria is not working, we Biafran people have decided to exit Nigeria. Whether they like it or not, we are living and we will live for good. We can govern ourselves. We will be better off. We will have a Christian country, Christian followers of Jesus Christ, of our Lord. Don't that sound beautiful? To be a Christian? Do you have a problem with the Christians? What do we do wrong? Being a Christian. Being a Christian is the most important thing that can happen to you. Because the Holy Book teach us to love, teach us to forgive, teach us to do what is right. The Holy Book, the Bible, God's Word, taught us not to go around like this Islamic jihadist terrorists and keep raping. Our Bible condemn it. Our Bible condemn jihadism. That is why it is sweet like honey to be a Christian. If you have problem with Christians, go and look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself question. You might need to go see a psychiatrist doctor, because Christianity have proven to be the best religion ordained by God on earth. That is the fact. Thank you, Honorable Minister of Information. I think because of time, and please, for our citizens in Anambra, be vigilant, trade with caution. We are fighting to save our dear nation. We are fighting because we love you all. We want our country to be better. All these politicians, illegitimate politicians that are working for the interest of Nigerian state, they meant no good for us. Obi will come and tell you how much he saved for Anambra people. Why save that money? Why didn't he use the money to develop Anambra? Anambra is still undeveloped. Onitsha is still undeveloped. Compare the city of Onitsha with some Western. Honorable Minister of Information, I think we're going to have a program where we really, show our people. We have a, comparison to show some. Can you just pull up one of the cities from the Western world, or any business center from Western world, maybe Dubai, anywhere else, and open up Onitsha market? Just look at the vicinity, look at the environment, look at how you can just tell that Onitsha is still undeveloped. Not because of the sit at home, just because the country called Nigeria, the government is not working. The government is not designed to benefit the people. Nothing in that country works. It's just a scam. The better we realize it, the better for us. And after we successfully liberate our land will be as beautiful. What a city! My fellow citizen, the Anambarian is Onitsha like this. Is Onitsha like this. Biafrans, don't we deserve better? Do we want to settle for less? For years, starting from Russia Sokorosha, I remember years ago, Russia Sokorosha came with drawing of how Owerri going to look like. Until today, Owerri have never changed. All these people are just scam, fraudulent people. Evil, they don't love us. Look at cities. Beautiful. Look at cities. A workable city system. Soludo want to tell you about the woman that is selling akara on the street. In any workable society, we are not going to have a woman carrying a baby of 2, 3, 4, 5 months on the hot sun, selling akara on the street. That then after selling the akara, at the end of the day, whatever profit this woman is going to make is not even up to 5 cents. We don't want such system. We have a workable system that every Biafran citizens will be able to get a well-befitting job, not selling banana, hawking around the street in that poor environment. And Soludo is so proud to talk about a woman selling akara in the street. How much is the woman selling akara in the street going to make at the end of the day as profit? Not up to $1. We don't want Biafra that anyone will be selling akara on the street. We want Biafra that a woman will have her own business or her own shop. Not on the street. She will have her own shop. When it rains, she will have a roof over her head. When the sun of that 100 to 120 degree, she will have where she will put her head without being beat down with that high temperature sun or weather. So you do shame of yourself. That reminds me of an illegitimate governor called, is he governor? What is use all these useless people? Used to govern Abia at the time. This man was talking about what they did to the Abian people, that they gave either 500 naira for a woman after the delivering. And from Arise or Channel News, they asked this governor, what will this 500 naira do for this woman? This governor said, are you asking a poor woman what 500 naira will do for her? 500 naira is not up to $1. Actually, 500 naira is not up to 50 cents. And this governor, so-called governor, is proud to say he's giving 500 naira to a woman that just delivered a beautiful, bouncing baby boy or girl to this world, just as our Creator said we should go and multiply, so that when we are gone, we have these children to take over. This governor is giving a woman less than 50 cents for the woman to use that 50 cents to take care of herself and the newborn baby. What a shame! This is all part of the reason why we Biafran people say enough is enough. We are living that shithole, disgraced country called Nigeria. We are Biafrans. We are never going to be Nigerians. We are not Nigerians. Let's go to Onisha now. Let's see how beautiful Onisha looks. Thank you, Honorable Minister of Information. I think after this, we will wrap up. Let's see the city of Onisha, where all this noise is coming from. The Soludo is crying, talking about Onisha. Let's see how beautiful Onisha look like. Minister of Information, are you going to be able to pull up Onisha for us, please?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see.
Yes. Let's see the Onisha now. That's Soludo talking about the Igbo business, the Onisha, the Anambra's business. For over 100 years in that contraption called Nigeria, Onisha can't even be like this beautiful cities. This is what you call cities. Very beautiful. People of Onisha, is there anything wrong if Onisha beautiful like these cities or even more beautiful? We are not going to settle for less. We'll go for best. We'll do everything we can. Biafrans are hardworking people. We deserve better. Where is Onisha?
I'm bringing Onitsha.
I don't know. Look at city. A workable system. This is what we call country. You have country and countries. Let's see the Onisha market. Just open the market where they have no light.
Yeah, let's go to the market.
No system, no road, nothing.
Yes,
I don't know. Biafra, I think we deserve better. We can't settle. We just have to be us. We can't dance this masquerade with these Nigerian terrorists.
Here is Onitsha market.
Look at the market. Can you open just open one of the market and let's just see structures and how it look? Biafrans, please, we need our country back. We can do better. If not, these people will set us back. If we see in Nigeria in the next 1,000 years, we're not gonna go nowhere. Oh God, help us, and we pledge and we promise God that we'll help ourselves. If not, God will take this blessing and help back. Maybe I'll look for another country and give it to them.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we need to help ourselves. This is not right. We deserve better. Yeah, you can play one of the video where this is the women that are selling their akara, right? Yes. At the end of the day, they can't even get $1. What a shame. Everywhere dusty, stink, no water, no ambulance. A lot of time when fire break out, no ambulance. Even if a fire ambulance, a fire department able to make it there, they will tell you they don't have water. And this governor don't even issue any state of emergency or even try to address the issue. I don't know. Yeah, just if you can get any of the video and just play it, let me see if I can look up something here. But it's heartbreaking that our people have, Biafrans need to wake up. We can't show weakness. We can't show weakness. It's too bad. Let me see if I can.
Serious,
Is that the Onisha, right?
Yeah, this is.
These people are serious with that talk.
You look at the market.
Saludo di comune.
Look at the structure. Look at the building.
Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Yes, saludo.
Right, so this is how Onitsha market looks like when you're looking from the top.
Let me see. Where is the top?
See it here.
We deserve better, and
Yes.
we deserve better. The streets of Onitsha, if we, I wish we can pull up this Onitsha Market Street, Onitsha Market Street.
Let's see the streets. Nature Market Street.
And Soludo is not even concerned about the environment, how it look. It's not.
I think this sit at home video will show it very well.
What you people will know is that
Can you see?
the city at home is almost about 5-6 years ago. It's not just what you can stop easily. You cannot stop it easily, just like that. But what governor is doing is for us and for the traders we know is that
This is what the street looks like.
what you
The beginning part of this.
Did the road look tight to you?
This see how it looks. And then I asked if this is actually the Onitsha market.
We deserve better. Yeah, we deserve better. Yeah, we deserve better. We deserve better.
All right, Ben, we have to wrap up because of time.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let me, Honorable Minister of Information. Yeah, let me share, send you this right quick. Just show this on the screen there. I'm gonna, yeah, after this, let's just laptop. Yeah, show this on the screen.
Yeah.
And okay, I think you actually have one of the picture there. On the side, right, you will see the gutter there and see how things are littered all everywhere inside. Biafrans, we deserve better. We'll be better off having our own separate Christian country. And remember, we are not terrorists, and we can't coexist with the terrorist state of Nigeria. If we don't free ourselves, they will Islamize us, not just Islamize us, they will kill us. This is the market, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you zoom in? Can you open it a little bit? Yeah, come down so that we can see the no, go up. Okay, keep going up. No, go up. Oh, come down a little bit. No, come down now. Just look right and look at the gutter, right? And you see people on top of that gutter selling, eating, buying. Soludo is not worried about the health of the Anambarians, the health of the Onitsha people. They don't care. The same way he don't care about his son, his family. We'll hold him accountable. Thank you, Biafrans. Thank Minister of Information. I think tomorrow is our fundraising. What we normally do every Saturday, fundraising exercise. So what we do to support our freedom. If you're one of those that are still doubting if Biafra is here, stop doubting Biafra is here. I'm telling you. The world is talking about Biafra, especially United States of America. Yes, they are talking about Biafra. In days, weeks to come, we have good news coming from Washington, and that will gladden everybody's heart. And for the saboteurs, Please shield that your sword of sabotaging. Use that your sabotaging sword against the Islamic jihadist terrorists and the Nigerian state, terrorist state. Use that your sabotage sword, go after them. Leave us alone. Let's get this freedom. We haven't get close than we have today in more than 50 years. This is the time. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all. And the Biafra Republic government in Ezra, the cabinet members, rep and admin, they are working day and night, tireless, doing whatever they can. Please make the job easy for them. Don't make it be a burden. Don't try to demoralize them. Do whatever you can to encourage them. No one is being paid. We are all volunteers. We sacrifice one way or the other. Some of us work 24/7. Anytime the phone rings, we always engage one way or the other. We already signed a contract to rescue our people, to free our people, no going back. And it will give me joy, it will give all of us joy when we finally totally liberate our land. And Onitsha city will be like or look like one of these cities that was just shown a few minutes ago, or even compete or better. Biafra land will be great again. If whether Biafra land is great, no, it's not. It's underdeveloped. That is why so many Biafrans, if they want to travel from Biafra land, they have to go to the north to go get a visa, or they will go to the southwest. Yes, because nothing is working in Biafra land. And what about the Onitsha people? When the Onitsha people import their goods from China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, the goods supposed to be coming to Onitsha direct because there's a River Niger there. But they did not try to make that work to benefit the Biafrans. We have a seaport in Calabar. We have in Warri. We have in Uwacha. The terrorist state of Nigeria makes sure all these seaports are not workable. Just to humiliate, suffer the Biafran people. It's high time we get our freedom. Please kindly support our freedom. Our freedom is near more than before. And there is this news flying everywhere. Some are talking about United States of America is working into dividing Nigeria. You don't need to be told. The handwriting is on the wall. With the event of what is happening, how do you think it will end up? It will end up definitely Christian countries will go their separate way. We now go and worship our God and call our Lord Jesus Christ, anyhow we want to call him, without being afraid that Islamic jihadist terrorists are coming to kill us just because of our religion, just because of our faith as Christians. Nigeria is like a time bomb. It's about to explode. Thank you from here. And good night. See you all at the town hall tomorrow, at the fundraising tomorrow. And on Sunday, we have our town hall. And for all those haters, evil people, saboteurs, thinking you will bring me down. You are giving me more strength. You see me laughing? I'm laughing because we are winning. I'm laughing because I know Biafra is here. Because I know what we are fighting for is real. I'm laughing because if you think you can bring me down, you are joking. No way. Thank you from here. Thank you. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, PM. They were